Hello and welcome to week 5 already, our June review of the OVPL. Welcome to Straight from the Training Ground. I'm Jay, here with my cohort, Rosmondo.
Hello there.
Glad to have you with us. It's hard to believe, Roz, already the end of June. A lot of games under the belt for a lot of the teams. Just went by fast. So we're hoping to put together a little bit of a June review. I also want to let everybody know we'll have a best 11 sponsored by Uno Zero back here. Thanks to them. We'll have a best 11 coming out on social media probably over this weekend. A best 11 on the men's side and a best 11 on the women's side. So keep your eyes out for that. But Ryan, just update us on how the Highlanders are doing here so far, and then we'll go through the league table.
We had a game at the weekend. We played against Ohio Premier. We hosted them here in Wheeling at the Highlands Complex. Another kind of different day, same story for us. We went 1-0 up against them, and we ended up losing the game 3-1. It's been quite a season in that regard. It seems to be a recurring theme. Seem to feel like I say that every week, and I'm definitely in the market for Saudi money for a team overhaul and rebuild next year.
Just putting that out there.
Just putting it out there. No. It's just we're having a bit of a rough patch. I mean, it's just been an up and down season all across the board, and you can't predict this at the start. And some things happen. They don't really go your way. A few times we've been on the wrong side of a bad bounce of the ball. For example, their second goal at the weekend was just a crazy deflection that kind of ricocheted off the ground and went over our keeper, who was already committed. So it was just some strange things happening. But it is what it is, and you gotta soldier on, and the club and the league is bigger than one result, and you keep looking for the next game, and then and take the lessons learned and go from there.
Absolutely, and we've all been there, so keep plugging away. And with that, we'll look here at the table as we go through the June review. First, we'll start off here in the River section. The River Conference, Valhalla still atop the table, 8-0 with 24 points. And Valhalla with a big result over the weekend, Ryan, 2-1 win over Northern Kentucky Nitro. Evansville Legends, you can see right there, 4-1-1, right behind them, and Northern Kentucky Nitro in third. Indy Saints, Hoosier FC, Danville Locomotive, Cincy SC, FC Indiana, and Pro FC.
So it looks like from what we've been seeing that the Valhalla's a shoe-in for the playoff game. The first and second and going to a playoff, and it looks like they're shoe-in. It's just a question of who's going to get that second spot. Not sure what the next fixtures are coming up, but I know Evansville and Nitro are pushing it hard, and also Indy Saints too. They're doing very well, so we've got to keep an eye on that one.
Well, it looks like here Evansville Legends they play Hoosier FC July 1st. And for Northern Kentucky Nitro, they play Cincy SC not until July 7th. So that's their next fixture.
What about Indy Saints there? What's their next one?
Indy Saints play Hoosier FC June 28th.
Okay.
So tight race still, as you said, for second place to make the playoff. Now over to the Valley Conference. See Spire Academy there at the top of the table with 15 points. Club Ohio on 14. Club Ohio with a 6-1 win over Ambassadors over the weekend.
Oh.
Ambassadors there now tied right behind them in second, both on 14 points. OP with 11 points, your latest foe. The Highlanders right behind them with 10. Project 24, Canton United Force, Sporting Columbus, Erie Commodores, and Elite FC. And Erie with a 5-2 win over the weekend over Canton Force. Any other?
No, that's the first I heard as well, and also that's I don't know if we can say it's a shocker of a result, but Club Ohio's 6-1 over Ambassadors. Shouldn't really say that because Club Ohio's been really rolling, and they've been getting the big wins. They have a pretty big win over us, 4-0. But that result was a bit unexpected. I think it does one thing for me anyway. It confirms that Club Ohio's right up there, and Spire have got a couple of games, maybe 3 games left, but seems to be those two that are in pole position for that playoff game. Ambassadors is going to be up there too, and Ohio Premier too is still in the mix. So I think between the 4 of them, we're going to get 2 teams at the top.
Absolutely, and looking ahead here, Club Ohio with a big game coming up July 1st against Spire. So the top two teams there. For Club Ohio, they play Elite FC before that, June 28th. And then Erie Commodores and the Ambassadors play July 1st. And real quickly, we'll go over here to the women's side. And on the women's side, Club Ohio is still atop the table. North FC, Dynamo SC, Sporting Columbus women with a big win over the weekend over Fusion. Cincy SC and Fusion rounds out the women's side.
So it looks like Club Ohio is the strongest team in that. And the women's side, would you agree? You've probably seen a little bit more than that than I have.
Yeah, I've seen them play Sporting Columbus twice in person, and they were both good games. To be honest, Club Ohio, they traded results, I believe, 1-0 each way. So they split the two games. So those top four teams look to be pretty tight still, in the race there for the women's side.
Excellent.
So a lot of things still yet to be decided. And as you mentioned, you want to tell everybody real quick about the new, the new playoff format.
Yeah, and it was agreed this season that instead of having the top team in each division, each conference, the River Division and the Valley Division play for the final, would open it up a little bit more, which I think has been a great decision, and have the first and second in each conference play in a playoff. Obviously, the first team, the team in first position, hosts that game, and that'll be just a one-game playoff. The winner goes to the OVPL final, which I believe is going to be a neutral location, possibly Cincinnati. Possibly Cincinnati, possibly Columbus. But I just think it opens up a little bit more, and it gives a few teams further down the pecking order a shot right up to the last game.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better. It makes it exciting down the stretch for everyone. And as you said, even those third and fourth place teams, if they're 1 point behind, a win here or there could swing things a lot differently for that playoff spot. So with that being said, keep an eye out this coming week for more results, more games in your local area in the OVPL, and support local soccer in your area. We want to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors and partners here, Uno Zero. They sent us some banners here, some swag to give out at some camps and things like that to support kids in our area. And also they will be sponsoring, as we mentioned before, the Best 11, which will come out this weekend. We'll announce that over social media for June, the Best 11 on the men's side and the Best 11 on the women's side so far throughout the season. Now we're very happy to have our special guest this week, Ryan, a good friend of mine and yours both, and the newly appointed women's head coach at Ohio Dominican, Tony Daniels.
What's up, guys?
There's Tony Daniels.
T-Dog in the house.
Glad to have you with us, my friend.
Well, we are recording, Tony, so we're going to keep that on there because that was fantastic.
Hey, I appreciate the time and the consideration and the shout out to go ahead and get me on. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. So my first question for you, Tony, Ryan, I obviously have known you a long time, and congrats on the new gig at Ohio Dominican. But before we get into that, you have a unique experience with OVPL because you have a son who plays in the OVPL. So you're familiar with it from that standpoint. And you also have some girls on your incoming college team that play. So tell everybody a little bit about your thoughts and your experience so far, just with the OVPL in general.
Yeah, being around the college game for a while, I think it's been great. I think the startup of the PDL, the Player Developmental League, back in the day, has given a kid an opportunity to play for the summer. As a college coach, it's been great because now they're actually going out and getting touches on the ball, staying fit. And there hasn't been, I guess, a lot of local PDL teams. And I think the OVPL has opened up the doors for a lot of kids that can't go off, giving them an option, whether it's, money or whether it's location, etc., to go ahead and still establish who they are and still go ahead and build the brand throughout this country. I think that's always been a negative with soccer. It's still in the growing stages. So from my son having the opportunity to make a team, I think it's been great. I think he has excelled going into his senior year from the OVPL last year. And now he's just trying to hone who he is. And I think it's been good in that sense for him, his growth. Plus also, you know, this area, and I say this area throughout the country, is starting to build the brand even better. And I think as coaches, as the three of us, we're always trying to do that, and try to make the game of soccer the biggest sport inside this country. I don't know if it's ever going to take over football or basketball or baseball, but we need our foot in the door. And I think doing this stuff is only going to build that. Now, from the girls' side of it, well, hang on before I go there. Last year has been a great introductory for it, and I think Ryan attests to you guys. You guys were in the championship game, and I think you guys sort of showed the way to other school or other teams that it can be done. And now there's more talent out there, the more teams out there, so it makes it more difficult. First of all, to get the guys in. Second of all, strategizing and all that. So it's been a little bit more difficult from your side as a coach. But all in all, if you take a step back objectively and look at it, it's really good for the game. Now, from the women's side of it, last year, I think they only had 4, maybe 5 teams.
Yeah.
And it's grown. So, you know, going from coaching women or men's soccer for 24 years into the ladies side of it, it's always been a big ask to have girls do fitness stuff inside the summer. And, hey, I'm training with this guy or I'm training with that guy. Now it's almost putting them in the same, I don't want to say the same foundational piece, but it's getting there because of the Women's World Cup and women's soccer is really caught on. Now they get a chance to go ahead and play throughout the summertime, which is once again honing their skills. So for me, stepping into Ohio Dominican, to have 3 or 4 girls or 5 girls being able to play, it's going to better what I'm trying to do for this upcoming season.
Tony, I agree with a lot of that. I mean, also just so we can kind of back up a little bit and so people know. So give us a little bit about your background, just a bit on predominantly the men's side, but also more recently you coached on the women's side, and tell us about this recent move of yours from Rio Grande University to Ohio Dominican.
Yeah, so originally from the Cleveland area, a shout out to Brecksville, my home school. Found myself down in University of Rio Grande back in 1987. Fast forward, did my years playing, which I was mostly injured. Scott Morrissey, who you guys already had on, asked me to help him out. So I was his assistant for 24 years. And I would like to say I was a key factor with Scott's guidance into building a national championship program. So I helped them for 24 years, won 2 national championships, have a lot of accolades. And then in 2016, I wanted to spread my own wings, and having kids, I didn't want to move. And it just so happened that the University of Rio Grande women's job came open. So I took that thinking that it was going to be easy, and it was a far cry from that. Wouldn't change it for whatever I experienced, because it was really, really good for me, for my growth as a coach. But spent 7 years at Rio on the women's side of it. So I really like to think that I've sort of turned that program around from where it was to where it is. I know another past player, Callum Morris, got him to the national championship. I was not granted that success. The last 3 years of my actual girls that I brought in, we were successful, and we lost in the semifinals. Then we lost in the championship the last 2 years of the conference. Some things happened to me personally, and an opportunity sort of knocked on my door a couple times, and that was a job at Ohio Dominican University. And I said, let's go ahead with it. My family supported the move. Scott supported the move. Everybody that I questioned supported the move. You know, 32 years coaching at University of Rio Grande, and I just turned 54 years old. To take a step out of my comfort zone is a big, big thing. But I think it was a great move, not only for me, for the family, for the program, to see what I can do. And I'm really looking forward to it. We're going from NAI to NCAA Division II. School set in metropolitan setting of Columbus. So yeah, that's where I am currently. Looking forward to this upcoming season. I know my predecessor, Riley DuPratt, she's done a lot of leg work in regards to recruiting and all that. So I'm stepping in sort of to a nice program, and hopefully be able to put my spin on it and see what we can do. It's a clean slate, and I got nothing to lose.
That's fantastic, Tony. And I just, obviously, Jay and I can be a good testament, having worked with you and having been coached by you. And I think the girls you get in your program will be lucky to be able to work with you. So I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Tony, as you alluded to, you spent a long time with the men's side, and you and I, talk a lot off camera personally about coaching women and coaching girls now. What are some of the key differences you've noticed now that you've spent a good amount of time coaching women? What are some key differences between the two?
I think the vested interest of wanting to learn, wanted to be put on the same pedestal, and I don't want to say that sexist wise. They want to know the fundamental side of it, the being a connoisseur of the game, and it's still there. It's coming up really, really fast. So I think from the men's side of it, there's a natural flow. They want to play. They want to get on with it. They automatically see A, B, C, D, E, F. From the girls' side of it, it's a little bit more of the coaching side comes out, and trying to get them to see what's going on. I think skill set, the girls really do the skill set. Where with guys, it's sort of a natural ability. And, trying to get that ingrained into the kids. If you've been around me, practice makes what permanent, trying to do something over and over. So you're not even thinking about that. And I think with guys, that happens on a regular basis. With girls, it's still in a work in progress.
Looking forward to Ohio Dominican, and I know you're still, it's been a fast and furious last month or so for you, but what so far of the program, what would you like to accomplish, or what would you say at the end of the season in November or December would be a successful first year?
Making the playoffs and having a chance to make and to win the GMAC. I think last year the team, from what I've been told, sort of had a downward performance at the end of the season or midway through. And we've been around the game. No matter what kind of pieces you have, you need that magic ingredient. And I don't know if they fully had it, and sort of a downward spiral. And they were preseason ranked third, and I think they ended up 6th or 7th, did not make the tournament. I know what Riley has done in regards to recruiting. I know what girls we got coming back, and I'm really ecstatic about being able to, I guess, mold what I do with the incoming freshmen. We have a really good class of girls that are scattered throughout the state of Ohio, girls that have played at a very, very high level. And then not to leave off the sophomores that were, the freshmen last year, the juniors. They play a massive part because they have that 1 or 2 years underneath their belt, being able to go ahead and showcase their abilities. And then naturally you got your leaders, which are your seniors. And, you as an underclassman, you always want to play for those girls because this is their last run, so to speak. So I think it's up to me to sort of to voice that and try to permanently ingrain it into their heads. But I'm really looking forward to that with those girls.
Yeah, I just, I wanted to add here, obviously, it's great that three of us speak. But Tony, I want you to know your honest opinion. Who was the greatest ever soccer player to come out of Circleville, Ohio, that you've ever coached?
Well, Ryan,
it's a long list.
It is a long list.
I mean, the C-town, the round town.
But the Pumpkin Show king would have to be Jason Herbert.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's quite an accomplishment. I appreciate it.
It is.
We just had to get that out there on air, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We want to wish you best of luck in this new venture going out with Ohio Dominican there, and I think it's a great setting. So, as you said, it's a metropolitan-based university, big town, and I think it's going to offer you as a coach a lot of opportunities on the recruiting side. And like I said, the ladies working with you are going to be very fortunate to have your guidance, and we want to wish you best of luck.
Well, I appreciate that. And, I'm going to be a road warrior traveling back and forth. And obviously, I always rely on you guys for tidbits of information. So, but, I think that's what life's about. I think that's what this game's about. It's the paths that have crossed our paths, and being able to utilize and lean on and, because what I look at is something different than you see, and Jason, you as well. And I think we have a collection of good coaches around us, and, we're never always right, but it's always good to voice and try to find out what else is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tony, thanks for taking the time to hop on here with us tonight. We know you've been busy getting ready for your new program. And again, best of luck to you and your Ohio Dominican women next year, and we wish you all the best.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, just going to do a quick little post-game recap from the Sporting Columbus Fusion FC match here at OVPL of the 23s. We're here with the goalkeeper.
Liv Alford.
Yep. Liv, you have, this is your second start for the OVPL, and you have 2 clean sheets. How's it going so far here at the OVPL?
It's going pretty good. It's a good time so far.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying it.
You like playing here in the summer, helping you prepare for college?
Yes, I do. 100%.
That's awesome.
My name's Celia Scott. Today's game called from a lot of attack for the outside backs. So I had 2 assists today, so I thought I did a good job getting forward, and I thought our team played really well, and everything's coming together. So
awesome. Well done, girls.
Visit our new partners, UnoZero at UnoZero.com, where classic beauty and quality meet modern design and elegance for football boots and more. Join our official partners at Dutig Brand FC, where they create quality products to make your lives easier as coaches. Visit our partners at TractionSocks.com for performance grip socks created for all athletes.